This is without a doubt the best LEGO TIE Fighter I have ever seen. What's up everyone and welcome back to the SW Bricks and Figs channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the BRICKVAULT Custom TIE Fighter. Now this is a beautiful model sold by BRICKVAULT, designed by a guy named Jarek, who's a super talented builder. Now this is a minifig scale custom TIE Fighter, of course using official LEGO pieces that I ordered from Bricklink. Basically you buy the instructions from a company named BRICKVAULT. You guys have probably seen them, they're huge in the LEGO community. And then of course you order all of the pieces from Bricklink or wherever you fancy ordering them from, and then you can build it all the way for yourself. Now this is a beautiful model, over 1,000 pieces in this, and it is really super detailed and super fun to build. The reason I love this so much is, for me, it's a perfect blend between a UCS set with all the details and everything like that, and then of course the minifig scale aspect. I think that's just the perfect way to build a vehicle, especially anything you want to use in mocks or anything like that. So for me, this TIE Fighter is perfection. But in a minute, we're going to get into every single little detail, and I'm going to tell you exactly why I think it's perfect. Before we get into it, I'm going to link down below to BRICKVAULT as well as Jarek, because they both deserve all the love that you guys can give them, as well as make sure to leave a like on the video and of course subscribe to the channel if you want to see more reviews like this. I definitely will be building the Interceptor soon, and I also just purchased the instructions for the X-Wing as well, so hopefully we'll have an X-Wing to go alongside this absolute beauty. Okay, so it all starts here on the BRICKVAULT website. I'll leave a link down below to this, but all you have to do is head over to the search feature and search for the TIE Fighter. Obviously you can see a ton of different TIEs right here. They are all on sale right now because of May 4th, but they might not be on sale by the time this video comes out. But yeah, here's the regular TIE Fighter. I thought for this one it should be $16.99 regularly. It's down a couple pounds now, but yeah, pretty good right there. And then you just add this to your cart. Once you've checked out, you'll basically receive a couple of files. You'll have a PDF instructions as well as a small parts list which you need to upload to Bricklink. The PDF instructions look like this. You basically follow them just the same as any other LEGO instructions, and honestly they're really simple, well tested and really easy to follow, and I've really had a good time building this set. But yeah, once you have all the pieces collated from all of your different Bricklink orders and you've built the TIE Fighter, it should look something like this absolute beauty. So now for me, as I said before, it's just the perfect mix of sort of detail. I think it's more detailed than even the UCS one. I think it has just an amazing different array of techniques being used in it. It was a really interesting and intricate build, and then it also has the minifig scale aspect, of course, that's perfect for using in any mocks or armies or anything like that, and that was definitely a big draw for me. And then I do also think that it's just super sturdy and super strong, so that's definitely something that I want to look for in a custom model. I really don't want to have something that's really I can't barely touch. I can really swoosh this around on anything and touch it anywhere pretty much, and it won't fall apart, which is really useful. But yeah, what better place to start with the review than the actual cockpit section. So yeah, now basically the main cockpit section is made up of these quarter round circle bricks. They look really good, and they basically encapsulate that circular design for the cockpit absolutely perfectly. You can see at the front we have this nice big dish window design and a couple of intricate details around that. There's tons of different details here, and then on top you do also have the printed sort of dish piece. Now these are both from the regular TIE Fighter that came out, I believe, at the start of 2020, so really easy to get your hands on these. I believe the windshield piece was actually different in the instructions, however it's basically the identical one. Everything's the exact same about it apart from something very minor. So the one that's in the instructions is actually from the 2018 TIE Fighter and a couple of other sets, making it definitely more rare and expensive. So I'd recommend just going ahead and getting the one from the 2020 TIE, the small one that came out really recently. It's a really easy and accessible piece to get, and same with that top piece that luckily did come in that set as well. But yeah, basically we have some really nice details in here. You can open this up and add a minifig in there. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But you also have these two small guns on the bottom, which are actually lightsaber hilts connected with droid arms. Now that's a really ingenious way of attaching this, of course, with those quarter round circle pieces. You don't really have many areas to attach any guns or anything, but this perfectly attaches them to the bottom. Now of course you can fold out the windshield piece, open up a couple of extra pieces, and then you remove these two top dish pieces and you can add in a minifig. Now in here you have a few different dials, a few different control control panels and things like that. You also have a nice little area for the minifigure to sit in. You have a couple of nice things made up with minifig hands and stuff, and I think this just looks really, really good as the control panels for the minifig. And then you basically just fold everything back in, and you do in fact have a nice little space for your minifig to sit. Now, one thing I've noticed when you fold everything back together, you got to be careful not to push down this curved slope too much. So definitely sort of open it back up again, push it back, and then have it at a nice angle so it covers that entire gap. That's one thing that I would say is the most fiddly and touchy point of the entire model, and this is probably the only area you really have to be careful touching. Obviously, if we spin it around to the back now, we have a couple of thrusters on the back with those nice little red accents. I think they look really good. And then of course the main engine in the center is nicely sort of capped off with a load of smooth tiles, basically showing 0 studs in this area, looking really, really, really nice. And I think that just really works well with the grills inside of there. Then of course on the sides you have some nice details as we work our way towards the wings. These small wedge pieces were probably the only piece I couldn't order when I first made the TIE Fighter. Since then I have actually managed to find them on lego.com, and then after that they have actually become more available on Bricklink, which is really, really good. When I first made the orders, there were none of these available in the UK, but now there are loads of these available, so that's really, really good right there. But yeah, they added a nice little detail onto the wings, and you can see there's different layers and stacked plates and different sort of cheese slopes and stuff, making a really nice smooth design. And if you do end up getting the Iden Versio version or the Inferno Squad version of this tie, you get a nice red stripe around the wing right there. Now, the main and most iconic part of the TIE Fighter is of course the wings. Now, when you're building this, you have 2 different variants you can choose from. You have the smooth wing design, or you have the textured, more grilled wing design. I went with the more grilled wing design as I personally just prefer the way it looks. Obviously, the one thing you have to be careful of is making sure all the bricks are facing in the correct direction when you do apply everything and put everything together. But basically, these are made up of 6 main triangular pieces. You can see they basically hold together with a couple of clip pieces. The main 2, the top and the bottom, are connected to the actual wings really, really sturdily and actually bricked in place. The other 2 pieces on the sides are just more sort of like connected by the clips, like I said before, and you build those just after you build the main 2 in the middle, and you basically wrap them around, and it really seamlessly fits onto everything. Now, if we talk about the connections and the rods in between everything, you have the nice sturdy ones in the middle. So now these ones in the center, the horizontal ones, are super well built. I really like the way these look, and I think they're super, super detailed. I think the tiles that cover it up are really, really nice, and it fits seamlessly in there. And the way he did this was honestly unbelievable. I don't know how he managed to get these details. The other 2, the horizontal ones on the tops and the bottoms, are definitely a little bit more on the exterior rather than actually sat between the pieces. They sit on top and they cover up the gaps absolutely seamlessly, and I really like the way that looks. On the sides we also have this small detailed piece which we found again in the 2020 tie. So this model really makes use of those new elements that we've got from that, making them really cheap and affordable to get. We also have some really nice details in here, from ingot pieces to different sort of smooth tiles and things like that, and a few other different areas, including some Technic pins and different details that you really wouldn't find anywhere else apart from on UCS or really detailed custom sets. Like I said, the other version of the wings is actually a smooth design without these sort of like grooves and everything. Now this was an equally good looking model in my opinion, but I like the way these sort of grooves catch the light, and I think they look a little bit more accurate to the way the TIE Fighter wings actually look. The smooth design just looks a little bit too reflective, like a mirror in my opinion, and these definitely add a nice little detail to it. But again, you can pick either one. The insides of the wings equally have just as much detail, even if not even more, where the wings actually connect to the body, and this looks fantastic in my opinion as well. So now of course I built this version. It does also come with a stand which is really, really seamless and smooth as well. I really like the way it attaches. It kind of attaches a bit wobbly at first, but once you get it in the right place, it really does sit really nicely on there and adds a nice angle, a sort of flying effect to it. But you really don't need the stand. So if you're trying to cut costs, I might potentially do this with my second one. I might just cut out the stand just to save a little bit of money right there. But yeah, I think it looks absolutely amazing just even without the stand. And the stand is just a nice little sort of bit of icing on the cake. Now back on the BRICKVAULT website, we can see the 3 different versions have slightly differing prices. I would say this is a bit of an overestimation as well. So we have the TIE Fighter with the smooth wings. We have about a $175 to $205 US with 1,261 pieces. Now I didn't build this one, but I built the one below it, which is estimated to be slightly more expensive at $200 to $215 US and just has around 356 pieces. So now the inflated piece count is just purely because you're using a lot more of the 1x2 grills rather than being able to use bigger bigger 1x2, 1x4, 1x6, and so on bricks in black if you're using the smooth wings. But yeah, I would say it's even cheaper than this. I don't think I really spent much more than £100. I think I did have a lot of the pieces in my own collection already, but likewise, you can order them, I definitely think, for cheaper than that. I think that's just a slight overestimation, but it really does depend on your area, where you're looking to buy from, shipping costs, as well as just the sort of luck you get with the stores at a certain time that you are ordering. And then of course you do have the final version of this, which is around 190 to 220 US dollars, so even bigger sort of variety right there, and comes with 1380 pieces, and this is the Iden Versio version. So now the increased piece count for this one is purely because you have to have a lot more cheese slopes on the actual wings right there to make that nice smooth design, rather than having a couple more pieces in there for the regular version, or a couple of bigger detailed pieces. You have more just like small cheese slopes and stuff like that to add those 3 different red lines around the wings. And I think this looks fantastic. I'm very tempted to build this, especially after looking back at the Battlefront 2 campaign. I definitely am more interested in building this Iden Versio version. But yeah, this is the Imperial TIE Fighter from BRICKVAULT. Absolutely beautiful model. I could not recommend this enough to you guys. It's a really fun build process. I had just as much fun building this as I have with any other UCS set or any other set in general. I think this probably is in my top 5 builds that I've ever built from LEGO. It was so much fun, and I can't wait to build a second one very, very soon. I really want to dabble into more BRICKVAULT models. I think they're a fantastic company, and I really would recommend supporting them. Obviously, they have a fantastic YouTube channel. You can see pretty much reviews of any of their UCS style sets on their website. They have a ton of different minifig scale stuff. I definitely am looking to build the X-Wing next to go along nicely with the TIE Fighter, as well as an Interceptor, and I think I have instructions for a really, really nice couple of builds, including the Imperial dropship, which we see in The Mandalorian, as well as the Snowspeeder. So if you want to stay tuned for those reviews when I do make those videos, definitely hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date whenever I do post more stuff. There'll be links down below to BRICKVAULT, both their YouTube channel as well as their website. This is nothing even affiliated to them. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, but I just really love their products. And of course, a link will be in the description to Jarek, the designer, as well, because he is super, super talented. I don't know how he managed to do this. I don't know how he did such a good job with this, but he also has smashed out an amazing X-Wing design and many other ships. So can't wait to see what he does next, and I really can't wait to do more models from BRICKVAULT. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.